What's up, everybody? How you doing? We are live right now. We're using Facebook instead of Be Live. Njoki Lilian is the guest today. Pumped up to have her. You guys are gonna love her. We're gonna get her in here in a second. I love it. Do. Perfect. Let's see if this works. There we go. You were right. Inviting should be on any second. Connecting.
Bang.
Yeah, flipped off. There we go.
Yeah, it takes a while. I don't know why. Anyway, I
You
should
are
put
all
it.
good.
Oh, yeah, I'm all good. All right, cool. Let's put it that way.
Awesome.
So, okay, cool.
Awesome. Perfect. So let's go on ahead and we'll start everything. Guys, welcome to another episode of Embrace the Chase, where we are interviewing 100 entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers over the next year to pick their brains, learn their stories, learn what makes them successful and tick, and see how we can all change the world, make it a better place. And I am pumped out of my mind because following up after a great episode with Edward ETE yesterday, we have the guest. I want to make sure that I am saying it right. Njoki Lilian,
Yes,
is that right?
exactly.
I
Yes.
love it. She's an international speaker from Switzerland, originally from Kenya, and she's going to drop value bombs today. So please listen and take some serious notes. But you prefer I call you Lilian, correct?
Yeah, I think it's easier, isn't it?
That's true. Anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, I am originally from Kenya, as you said, and I live in beautiful Switzerland. I love this country so much. When I was young, I dreamed to come to Switzerland, and here I am. So I love it, love it.
What's your favorite part of Switzerland?
Oh, I live in Basel. I love Basel. We have the Rhine. Do you know the River Rhine? Have you ever heard of that one? Goes through Europe. It's beautiful and it's quite international here. It's very cosmopolitan. It's not New York, but we have a little bit of the flair because we have a lot of pharmaceutical companies and the banks. And we are actually surrounded by two other countries, which is great. I mean, we are neighbors, let me say that way, with France and Germany. So I can go to shopping in Germany within 15 minutes or to France within 20 minutes. And we speak several languages here. People are awesome. They're smart, very international and very friendly city. So I love Basel because it's my hometown, but I love Zurich and Lucerne.
I'm so jealous.
Yes.
I wish I lived that close to all those places.
Yeah, it's so easy living in Europe, though. It's I think it's one of the coolest continent, actually, because you're near all these other countries within an hour, half an hour, or whatever. Yeah, it's really nice.
That's so cool, so cool. So for the audience watching live or anybody watching on the replay, so Lilian, as I'm going to call her, she said it's a lot easier to say, but I love Njoki.
You can. I prefer Njoki myself, too.
All right, I'm going to start saying that. Njoki,
Yes.
she's the founder of Tell Your Story. She's also the CEO of African Expo, and she's an international speaker. So, like I said, in every single one of my podcasts, I stick to 3 buckets. So the first bucket is Tell Your Story. So, Njoki, if you could just tell us, how did you go from living in Kenya to where you are today? Because it's so inspirational.
It is actually. So it's, I thank my beautiful mother who remarried again to a Swiss man. That's my stepdad now, who I love dearly. And that's how I happened to move to Switzerland. And I was turning 20. It wasn't the easiest step for me because, first love. I was so in love back home with my first boyfriend. And I was just finishing my college because I was doing a tourist You call it tourism. Sometimes I mix
Yeah.
German and English. I'm sorry about that. And so, and I moved here with turning almost 20, and it was the easiest way. I mean, it wasn't the easy way to come to Switzerland after, that age. I mean, when you're 20, you're not nowhere actually in life, is it? You're just starting up. You're not a grown up, you're not a child, you're not a teenager. So it's kind of in between. And so I ended up here and I restarted all over again, the language, the mentality, going back to college again. And so that's how I came here, through my mother. Yeah.
Love it. So since you've been in Switzerland, what life events have caused you to want to become a speaker?
Oh, the thing is I went through dramatic life change. Just to make it very short, I was married. I have two daughters who I'm dearly, dearly, dearly in love with. Amazing two teenager. One is 19 and 16, and I brought them up alone on my own. I'm a single mother, and the divorce left me with nothing, just the two precious girls, which has been my drive. And so I had to restart everything, and I had kind of a Hollywood divorce. You know, one of those Hollywood divorces. It's all about material. I lived the big life those days, and he left me with nothing. Just because I wanted to go, I wanted out of the marriage, and it was really horrible then. And so I had to recreate my life again. And I started from scratch with 37. And I educated myself, went to college, in between taking care of the kids. And thank you to my dear mother, I could do that. And close friends who were helping with the kids while I was going back to college. And then I started, I was always an entrepreneur kind of a person. So I started becoming smart in the sense that I don't get jobs now because I don't speak good German enough to have a good job. I could not go study again. So I created my businesses. I started doing catering. And with a girlfriend, we started a small catering company with African finger food, Kenyan finger food. And it was kind of successful. And in between, I went back to college and I did events marketing. So I have a diploma in events marketing. And so I formed a company, events company. So I started planning bigger events and having the catering on the side. And so I started getting, customers from all over. And you know what? The biggest customer I still have today is Roger Federer, the tennis guy. So I work with a family. I worked on his foundation for Africa for almost 10 years. And I'm part of the organizing. Cool, isn't it?
Roger Federer?
Yes! The parents are like people
No
I know.
way.
I mean,
That's
yes.
crazy.
And that's one of the biggest achievements. Until today, I'm so connected in that part of it, of events. And so this was on the side and having kids. And, in Switzerland, it's not like, I don't know how it is in States. We don't have, or maybe let me say Kenya, we don't have help at home. It's not easy. It's not easy to afford to have somebody taking care of your kids. So in between, I organized myself so that I could be there for the girls, lunchtime, drive them to music classes, pick them to the sport. It was kind of crazy, but fun, very intense. And after that, I started thinking I should do now something else to bring more the income, because it wasn't really a continuous thing. Planning an event is sometimes 2-3 months. In between, you have a break. Catering was not really active. So then I started sports. I'm a fitness instructor. I love sports. I love dancing. And I did kickboxing because I love kickboxing. So I combined the element. That's before the kids, though. That's before the kids. I brought it from Kenya. In Kenya, I was dancing for the first president of Kenya. I really danced for him, Kenyatta. I was in primary school and I used to go dancing, and I was one of the good dancers. So I put my elements before Zumba. I'm sure you know what is Zumba, isn't it?
Yeah.
Women love Zumba. So before the Zumba actually came out, I had already started something like a Zumba thing, but with elements of kickboxing and dancing and just fitness, a program in it. And I went knocking on the doors, fitness doors and dance schools. I said, look, I have these. Can I show you? I can work for you and start a new thing here. And so I got chances, and I worked in fitness studios around my area. So I was driving everywhere, going, doing a class, running to the next place, doing a class, and it became successful. So I was working in different fitness studios, and eventually after 3 years, I became self-employed with it. And I coached women, which I still do now. I think the answer is going with. So it's been a beautiful ride for me, and I still do fitness classes. But now I've changed again. I went back to college, and now I'm doing the aqua fitness, aqua cycling, aqua everything with water. So yes, that's the journey I've been through. That's a little bit about me.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I need to hook you up with Darlene Lopez, and I think she's watching live right now, or she was watching live a minute ago. Because
cool.
Darlene is a huge fitness entrepreneur online, and y'all would be great.
Oh, really?
So I'll connect you guys.
I'm not doing so much there, though, and I that's my other job. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love motivating people. I love giving people back, especially the women. I have big groups of women in my classes. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. So then let's talk about current projects and things you're going to do in the future. So kind of explain to me what exactly is tellyourstory.ch. So that whole business, and then also explain what's African Expo, because before we jumped on this Facebook Live, you were telling me about like South America and Africa and the differences of countries and continents and just your passion behind it. Well, let's have you redo that again, because I think people get a lot of value out of it.
Okay, the African part or the tell your story? Which way? Both? Okay, let me finish with the African Expo. Okay, I start with tell your story because it's my baby. It needs a lot of love right now and maintenance and taking care. So tell your story is actually as it is, tell your story. So I started telling my story because I thought I have a very dramatic, interesting, amazing, crazy, beautiful story. So it's everything in it, yeah. So I started sharing my story on Facebook. This is maybe now almost 3 years ago. Before that was so common that people did blogs, I was doing it on Facebook. And I kept doing, writing stories about me, the forgiveness, the life I went through and how hard it was, but I've come out, I managed. So every morning I woke up like 5:30 and by 6 I had posted something. And all of a sudden people start following that and reading my stories. I got inbox, oh my God, you inspire me. Can you keep doing that? And it became kind of an addiction. If I did not do it, I did not feel well. So every day before I left my bed, I did my little blog and I wrote something about me. And then people start approaching me for help, like through inboxing or calling, emails. And I became a mentor automatically like that. And so that's what I did. And then after a while, I thought, you know what? Everybody has a story. Let me call this page Tell Your Story. I did that. And then I thought, what about creating a platform where everyday people can come and tell the stories? It's not long ago. Actually, I just did it in May. I launched it in May. And I've done 5 seminars, and they've been very, very well received. And I have authors who come, they've written books. That's the idea of Tell Your Story. I give the platform to the authors. They come and talk about their books, introduce them, and they sell them. And then on the other hand, I have everyday people who want to come and tell their story because now they are doing well, they're successful and inspire others. And I have just business starters like coaches or speakers who just want to come and inspire others. So this is the project I have now. And what has happened now is crazy because now in February, I'm going to Kenya to launch Tell Your Story. As we speak now, it's a big thing going on right now. So soon Facebook will I'll bombard Facebook with all my advertisement and all that. So yeah, February beginning, we're in Kenya. So this is part of the Tell Your Story. It's still like a big development. I have a request to have my own show, TV show on Tell Your Story. And it's about everybody. For me, I just think everybody has a story and everybody should get a chance to speak. And then the idea of this compassion, we've lost it with human being. You know, you're like, when I tell, like now, you're being very compassionate, by the way, you're listening to me. And we have lost that, haven't we? So it's good to have people just coming, telling you your story. I mean, their story, and you're just there listening to them, because sometimes compassion is all what we need, you know. And that's the idea of telling your story. Yeah, compassion, love and compassion.
That's
and
awesome.
helping people who are going through hard difficulties. Yeah. Through that.
So then what is your baby, the African Expo?
No, the Tell Your Story was the baby, because it's new, very new. And so African Expo is what I did last 2 years. I started African Expo because I wanted to bring the new Africa to the world, because people don't know Africa as it is. They think Africa, some people think Africa is even a country, but it's a continent. We have a lot of things going on in Africa. And like me coming from Kenya, we have a lot happening within the one country, that Kenya, you know, like we have a lot of tribes. And these tribes, they're so different. The way they think, where they live, you know, the geographic part of it already, it's crazy. So if you say, you give me a name, a province or a city, I would know exactly how you look like, what you speak, what you eat, how you dress. So this is within a country. So imagine the whole continent. And that's why it's crazy. And I think Africa is one of the most beautiful continents, I think, because we have everything. And my idea with African Expo is to also build a bridge between Africans and the other world, because we are very misunderstood. And I think it's time now we share real Africa, you know, not what people think Africa is. And that's my mission. And this is something I really want to insist on. So I plan big events here in Basel, in Switzerland. I call it africanexpo.ch. You can go look at it. We're still we're working on it. And this year I'm not going to launch one. Next year I'm going to do, next year I'm not doing another African Expo. I'm waiting for countries to join in. I have people who are lining up to join in 2019, because I want to make it even bigger than I did last time. And it's about also the growth of economic. Africa has improved a lot economically. We are doing really, really well. And that's what we need to show. And also have Africans understand it's okay to be an African, and we can do it alone. We can make it. We are also highly educated. We have everything, you know, intellectual people, totally, and hardworking. So I want to change that. And I want people to know Kenya, where Kenya is and what is in Kenya. If I say Ghana, then you know, oh, Ghana, yeah, these people, they do this, they're like that, and whatever, you know, just to introduce our continent, yeah, in a beautiful, nice way. It's my mission.
That. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to respect your time, so I'm going to ask you the last question I ask every one of my guests, and that's, tell us something right now that's either on your heart or on your mind that's really important to you, whether that's about you or a specific project or cause.
Okay, I will talk about the cause. What really is in my heart is about humanity, and I believe in one religion, that's love, and would be my mission if I had a chance to do that. Like, make everybody just understand we connect when we love each other, and love is everywhere, and love is everything, and that's what should be the world religion. Then we would be all happy and peaceful. Love, love, love. All the way love. That's what I would say.
Pun intended. I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yes. And Njoki, loved having you on. Literally loved having you on. And guys, since we're on Facebook Live right now, all of the links are not below for those of you watching live. But as this posts down below, I'm going to link up all of her projects. You can go check them out. You can support her. She is an international speaker. Like she said, she lives in Switzerland right now, but does travel occasionally. So if you want to meet her live in person, go message her, follow her, whatever you want. This is really who she is. She's not any different when she's not on Facebook Live. So loved having you on, Njoki. And would love to have
That's
you on
me.
again.
I love. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Ciao.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
I'll be